So today we have problem number 7, and problem number 7 states, a number machine takes an input x and gives 2x plus 1 as output. After you apply the machine 12 times, starting from the integer n, the output is 827,391, and we want to find what n is. So to kind of simplify this whole thing, I just used basic numbers to show how this output works, input-output works. So if you input 1 into this equation, you get 3. And then you're going to take this number and use that as your next x. And then you'll use that, and it'll be 7. And then you use 7, and it'll be 15, 15, 31. And that keeps going. So you reuse the x you get here in for x here. And that's kind of what you need to know in order to solve this. So we want to find starting with 827,000 as the bottom number, we want to find what n is. So this is a problem we're going to have to work backwards. So if you draw out the chart for this, you'll have x and 2x plus 1 with that number, 827,391, being in this position because that's the ending number. And we want to find what this number here is because it's not necessarily going to be 1, so we have to find out what we're starting with. So we need to find an equation that's going to help us find what this x is since we're working backwards. So we can use the 2x plus 1 over here. So if we have a number plugged into that equation that gives us that number, we can set this equation equal to that to solve for x. So we have 2x plus 1 equals 827,391. When you subtract 1 and divide 2, you get that x equals 413,695. So this number here is what's going to go into this spot here. And then according to this chart here, we found that if the number's here, it'll go into this spot. So we can then bring the 413,695 up to here. And then we just continue this process of plugging numbers in all the way up until we get n. So I showed that work over here. So for our 12th term, which we know is 827,391, you plug that into this formula to find out what x is. And you find out that x is that, so that goes here. And then when you plug in 413,695 into the same equation, you get that x is 206,847. So then that number would go here. Let me erase this. 206,847. And then just like before, this number goes here. You plug it into the equation, and you get that number that goes over here. And then that number goes up here. And you keep working your way up until you get to the very first one. So I number them here, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way up to 1. And when you do the very first one and plug it 403, which was this number here, into the equation, you get the n, or x. The first x is going to be 201, which is what our n is. So the answer is 201.